In a world where we have no say in what goes on economically, I believe by stacking silver and gold, it gives us a sense of hope and security for our financial futures. And in this community, we might not always be on the same page, but at the very least, I think we're in the same book.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and staying safe. It's a great day to have a great day. Today I wanted to talk about silver and also gold and how I believe that the precious metals give us a sense of hope and a sense of community. But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But today, I wanted to talk about the silver and also the gold. I wanted to talk about how, in my opinion at least, I believe the precious metals give us a sense of hope and a sense of community. Now, before I talk about the sense of community, I want to talk about the sense of hope because they're completely different topics and I'm going to cover them both in today's video. So, a sense of hope. By this I mean, in a world where we have very little control, we have little to no say in really anything going on a macro level. We don't make the political decisions, we don't make the economic decisions, we don't make any of the decisions like that. They say that we make the decisions. They say vote for what you want to see happen. You vote for what you want to see happen and it still doesn't happen. So we have very little say in these things, and in a world where many of us feel tied down, many of us feel trapped, many of us feel as though our voices are going unheard, many of us feel as though there's no way out, we're backed into a corner, and we're stuck. Many of us feel this way. And when it comes to banking, when it comes to, a checking account, a savings account, things like that, again, you have the choice how many of these you put into your checking account or your savings account, but you don't really have much say in what goes on with that money, or should I say, that currency, that fiat, those glorified IOU notes. We don't have a whole lot of power to say, hey, I want to store this cash right here with you guys because it's FDIC insured, it's protected, blah, 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 but I don't want you to lend out 10 times the amount that I have in there. I don't want my cash to be used for this reason or for that reason. I don't want everyone else benefiting from my cash while all my cash does is sit and depreciate. I don't really want that going on. Well, guess what? You don't really have that choice. And if you want a little bit more of an incentive and you ask for a raise, aka you ask for your interest to be increased by, I don't know, maybe 0.1%, they'll tell you no. They'll laugh in your face. So it's your cash, it's your dollars, but you don't have a say in what goes on, you don't have a choice in what goes on, and you don't have any power besides withdrawing your cash and going completely bankless, which has its pros, but it also has its cons. Again, leaving your cash in the bank, sure, it's FDIC insured, which is a good thing. I don't think anybody is necessarily against that, but at the same time, it's not in your possession. At the same time, it doesn't really grow very much. A fraction of a decimal of a percent of interest that you're given really doesn't even add up. You could put $1 million in there and you still wouldn't be earning very much in interest, and whatever you are earning in interest, they tax you the next year because that's technically earned income, which is crazy. You get taxed when you buy things, you get taxed when you sell things, and you get taxed when you do nothing but save. It's crazy. Again, we don't have very much say in that. We don't have very much control. But if you choose to be your own bank, when it comes to the silver and the gold, even though we don't have complete and total control over the spot price. It's not like I can make the spot price go up and you can make the spot price go down. It's not like we can just make spot price do whatever we want it to, however we believe that it'll benefit us the most. We don't have control over that. However, It's our own money that we're holding in our possession. And I believe that gives us a sense of hope and security because it's financial insurance, it's financial protection, it's financial security, it's financial preparation. And by holding on to the silver and the gold, there's a pretty strong chance that it's going to go up in value as the dollar goes down in value. That's just typically what happens when fiat gets weaker. Real true money, such as the silver and the gold, typically gets stronger. And that's what we've seen for years and years and years, decades in the past. And I believe that we will moving forward into the future. So I believe it gives us a sense of hope because, in my opinion, I feel almost as though if you are relying exclusively on your dollar bills. Now, I'm not trying to badmouth the dollar bills. That's not what I'm intending to sound like I'm doing in today's video. I think the dollar bills, they play a role, and I think that if you are not stacking at least a little bit of dollar bills alongside your silver and or your gold, I think you're probably making a mistake. I think the dollar bills definitely serve a purpose. People say cash is king. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, but it does play a role in the kingdom. But if you are exclusively relying on the dollar bill, whether it's in your possession or the bank's possession, if you are 100% full throttle, tunnel vision, lasered in on nothing but the dollar bills, in my opinion, it seems almost as though you're refusing to get off of a sinking ship. Again, it's not all bad. I don't think these things are terrible, horrible, and that we should throw them in the trash. No, these are a tool. These are very important. These are for the short term. A lot can happen in the short term. Something can happen as I'm filming this video. All of a sudden, I need to take care of something, some type of financial emergency. My phone could ring right now, and a family member could be in some serious financial trouble, or I can look out the window and see that somebody just wrecked my car that's parked on the street or something like that. This right here, the fiat, this is designed to take care of things like that in the short term. Maybe not so much in the long term. 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200, 500 years from now, I don't know how healthy these will be right here, or if they're even going to exist that long. I don't know. I can't predict the future, but it's not looking all too good. Important for the short term, but I think the silver and gold is important and crucial for the long term. This is long-term preparation, financial preparation. And by that I mean it's a hedge against inflation. That's what people see the silver and gold for. I talk about this all the time, so I'm not even going to go into full detail about that. But as I said earlier in the video, as the dollar bill loses purchasing power, silver and gold just get stronger and stronger and stronger. That's just what happens. Now, moving away from silver giving us a sense of hope, I want to talk about how silver can give us a sense of community. Now, by this I mean, a lot of us are stacking for similar reasons. Many of us are stacking for completely different reasons. Some of us aren't even necessarily stacking. Maybe we're focusing more on collecting rather than getting as much physical silver content in our possession and focusing on just the weight of the silver rather than getting specific coins, rounds, or bars from different countries, from different years, and starting to collect coins from a series or a set or whatever. A lot of us have different intentions. A lot of us have different goals and priorities. But even though we're not always on the same page, 99.9% of the time, we're in the same book. I would even argue to say that 100% of the time we're in the same book. Because if you take all of the options away, if you take all of the decisions that we can make and just forget about those for a second, just forget about preferring silver over gold, or preferring 90% over 3 nines fine, or 4 nines fine over 40%, or coins versus bars, or bars versus rounds, or kilo bars versus 1 gram bars. Forget all that. If you take all of that away, what still remains? The precious metals. We're in the same book. Might not be on the same page, but we're in the same book. And it's pretty fascinating A lot of us, it's second nature at this point, so not a lot of us really think about it very much, and not a lot of us remind ourselves how grateful we are. I know a lot of us have our issues with things going on in the digital world, but the digital world has opened up a lot of doors for us. I mean, what other point in history have we been able to congregate in groups of tens or hundreds, sometimes thousands, tens of thousands of people all at the same time, having a conversation in real time, when we all live in different cities, different states, some of us live in different countries. When I do my live streams or when I post my videos and they have the live video premiere, it's not just me and my group of friends hanging out at the house or in the backyard. No, it's a group of people who live in completely different states, completely different time zones, completely different countries, all talking about the same thing at the same time. The digital age has given us the ability to do that with great ease. So yes, social media and the internet absolutely has its problems. No one's arguing that. At least not over here. But there's a lot of good as well. And I choose to focus on the good. I choose to focus on what's beneficial. I choose to focus on where I can be as productive as possible, where I can teach those who are willing to learn and learn from those who are willing to teach. And I try to stay grateful for that. I try to remind myself every single night and every single morning when I wake up, I got a whole lot to look forward to today. And every night before I go to sleep, I say thank you. I think the silver and the gold gives us a sense of community because many of us can probably align with what I just said right there. Many of us can probably agree. Many of us might forget. We might forget to be appreciative, or forget to be grateful, or forget to say thank you, because we've gotten so used to it. A lot of us are spoiled with everything that we have. A lot of us forget how good we actually have it. When one little tiny thing goes wrong, it feels like the end of the world. And I'm guilty of this myself too, by the way. When something happens, all of a sudden everything's horrible. Because 1% of things went wrong. Completely blinded to the fact that 99% still went right. So that's why I try to focus on that. And I think it's pretty cool how everybody can group up internationally to talk about the same thing, something that we all have in common. Gives us a sense of commonality, a sense of community. It's something that we all believe in, something that we all trust, something that we all appreciate, something that we all do, maybe for different reasons. Maybe some of us are maybe more so in it for the short term. Maybe they're waiting for silver and gold to double, triple, and quadruple in value over the next couple of weeks, months, years if they think that's going to happen, so they can cash out and do whatever they want with the cash. I personally don't agree with that, but it's not my money that they're doing that with. They could do whatever they want. They can make their own financial decisions. Maybe they're doing it for that reason. Or maybe they're in it for the long haul. Maybe they don't really care about the next week, month, or year. Maybe they're focusing on 5, 10, 15 years down the road. Maybe they're prioritizing the long term. Maybe they want to do something like what I want to do. I want to leverage my dollar bills whenever possible to get more silver. And if the gold to silver ratio gap were to close in, I can then leverage not all, not most, not a majority of my silver, but a portion of my silver. Leverage that silver to get more gold. Convert the silver into gold rather than converting my dollars into gold. Convert silver to gold. Leverage my silver to get gold. And then what can I do after that? If I just continue to rinse and repeat and accumulate more silver, which gets me even more gold years, decades down the road, what can I do with the gold? I could, in theory, trade some of it for land. Get myself into real estate if that's what I choose to do. Buy land and lease it for farming purposes, or buy potentially multifamily homes and put roofs over people's heads. Maybe that's your goal as well. Or maybe your goal is to stack up as much silver and gold as humanly possible so that when you are no longer here, it can be passed down to your children and their children and their children and their children, and it could be somewhat of a family heirloom, generational wealth. There's a lot of different reasons to stack silver. There's a lot of different reasons to stack gold. We all have different strategies and methods and priorities, but at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing. We're stacking the silver and the gold. Whether you're a coin collector or whether you're somebody who's stacking for weight, whatever your long-term or short-term goals are, whatever your precious metal of choice is, at the end of the day, we're all playing the same game. We're all involved in the precious metals, which is why, coming around full circle, I believe the silver and the gold give us a sense of community. And I think that's really good. See, even the birds agree with me. They're chirping out the window. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know. What are your thoughts on everything that I shared in today's video? Again, I understand that we don't always agree on the same things. I'm stacking for weight for the most part, but I prefer silver in somewhat smaller denominations. I try to stick to the 1, 5, and 10 ounce increments, along with some 90%. Some people might disagree with me and say if you're stacking for weight, you should be stacking the kilo bars or the 50 ounce bars or something like that. Same goes for gold. I prefer gold in fractional pieces. Everything on screen right here. This is just some of my gold, but all of my gold is fractional. Quarter ounce, half ounce. I even have the 1 gram gold bar. Sure, the premiums are a little bit higher, but I see the higher premiums as somewhat of a security expense because I'm personally not comfortable packing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into just one particular piece of metal. I'd rather pay a little bit higher of a premium to have those thousands of dollars broken up and put into different pieces of metal. I would much rather have 2 half-ounce gold coins or 4 quarter-ounce gold coins or 10 tenth-ounce gold coins than one troy-ounce gold coin. Again, it's all personal preference. That's just what I choose to do. You might disagree with me. You might say that I should do things the way that you're doing things, stacking the silver kilo bars or the 1 or 2 troy-ounce gold coins or bars. But guess what? Even though we disagree on that right there, we're both still stacking the silver. We're both still stacking the gold. We might have different methods, different strategies, different ways of going about it. But at the end of the day, we're doing the same thing. There is still a sense of commonality, even though we don't agree on every single aspect. But that's a good thing. I would not want a group of people agreeing with me 100% of the time. If I had all 12,000 subscribers of mine telling me on a daily basis,
"You're right, you're 100% right, yeah, absolutely, you go, Mikey, you're always right, Mikey, you're the king, Mikey."
I wouldn't want that. That would be a red flag right there that something is wrong. That's not what I would want. Disagreeing with people about different things, that's a good thing. We don't always have to have the same exact mentality. We don't always have to have the same exact way of thinking. It wouldn't be a very good sign if a large group of people all thought the exact same identical way as though they're carbon copies of one another. That right there sounds pretty terrifying. I would rather a large group of people share a common interest, but disagree from time to time. I believe that's better. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on everything that I shared in today's video about having a sense of hope or a sense of community, all because of the precious metals? And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller, easier to manage. I'm also doing giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shout-outs, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my YouTube videos early and commercial-free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe. New videos every single day, 365 days a year. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 2,000 subscribers. We just hit 1,500, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products, t-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations at no additional cost to you. It comes out of my pocket, not yours. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on everything that I shared in today's video? It was a 2-part video. The first part I talked about silver giving us somewhat of a sense of hope, where in a world where we don't have very much power, we don't have very much say in things, but when it comes to the silver and the gold, we're stacking our way, we're financially preparing ourselves our way, we're doing something that I personally believe, in my opinion at least, acts as a hedge against inflation. And then, of course, when it comes to silver and gold giving us a sense of community, as I said earlier, I believe, even though we're not always on the same page, we're pretty much always in the same book. In my opinion, at least. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.